Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today is April 5th, 2022, and the news is brought to you by Analogue Spotlight, a group of photographic retailers and manufacturers who have joined together to support analog photographic media and help keep analog photography thriving worldwide. These brands are linked in I left the link to them below, but thank you to them. The news are open to everybody to watch for free here on YouTube. So let's start with the good news of the week. We have Cinestill 400D getting all the way up to 4x5. Now we have 400D, which is a new emulsion as still photography is concerned. Basically being 35mm, 120 medium format film, and 4x5. They are hinting that if they reach the backers or the film backers 10,000 number, there'll be some surprise. I still don't know. I did ask, reached out to them, and they kept it as it is a surprise. So that is exciting because I would happily want to see Cinestill 800T in 4x5 because it did happen in the Kickstarter campaign for 800T or Indiegogo campaign back then, but we haven't seen 800T available again in the market. So as 4x5. So that would be my wish for Cinestill 400D. We'll see how it goes, but that would be what I would like to see. Then we have, talking about large format, we have Arca Swiss, manufacturer of large format cameras, ball heads, and other little thingies, basically announcing that they're back to making 5x7 cameras. Rod Klukas, the US reseller seller distributor of Arca Swiss, has announced that now Arca Swiss is taking orders for the F and M line for 5x7, which is cool to see because there was 4x5 and 8x10. Back in the day, there was 5x7. Now they're back to making it. Not sure why they decided to go back into 5x7. It is the least popular large format size, but good to see it because I honestly think it's the best of both worlds. It's kind of small, but also big size of film. I just don't like the proportion of 5x7 myself. Then we have news from Sino Promise. Sino Promise, if you don't know, is the Chinese company that bought out the chemical and paper manufacturing from Kodak. And like I've said many, many times, Kodak in itself is right now a massive headache of a company in the sense that paper and chemicals are Sino Promise, then distribution of film photography, like film for still cameras, is Alaris, but then there's Kodak Moments as part of Alaris and Rochester. Okay, so Sino Promise is the Chinese manufacturer of chemicals and paper. They seem to be having lots of trouble. You might have noticed that your favorite Endura paper or the mini labs in your town don't have any paper to print those postcards in Christmas. This was already an issue back in Christmas 2021. We are in April 2022. Seems that they're asking for money from people to pay orders beforehand. They're not really sending stuff. So this is looking like a problem. I cross my fingers and hope that somehow it gets resolved and we get, the chemicals and the paper supply from Kodak or anyone else. It'd be Sino Promise or Kodak again, giving us that, products. If you have any information, let us know. I left the link below to an article from Inside Imaging, which talks a bit about problems. Then we're back with Fuji. Fuji and their ongoing issues and prices and this. Fuji has made a public announcement on their website in Japanese saying that the 120 film, which has been basically not discontinued, but out of stock and waiting to be back in stock forever. I know Provia has been like that. I found some in the US when I went there for my trip. But they said that the 120, they're having problems finding materials and this, and not that it's discontinued, don't get me wrong. They just said there's going to be problems in supply for the foreseeable future. What does this mean? It means that their intention is to keep producing it, seems like it, but they're going to have some issues with raw materials and so on and so on. So it doesn't look like we have all the bad news from Fuji yet, but it seems that if you are a Velvia 50, Velvia 100, or Provia 100F, you should probably stock up if you find any anywhere. So just heads up for you guys. Then we have good news. Arax, the camera refurbisher manufacturer based in Ukraine, is back in Kiev. They are back to manufacturing and refurbishing and helping with cameras. As you know, they had to leave, or at least they stopped operations for a little bit due to the war. Now they're back there and they seem to be working again. So if you were one of their customers, you can go back and keep on being their customers. And if you were not a customer and you feel like it, you can probably do business with them. It probably helps them get back on their feet. Then we have a 3D printed bubbles for the Hasselblad Dovetail. If you are a Hasselblad user, you know that the Hasselblad V system has on the left hand, kind of where the nameplate is, some sort of mini dovetail accessory rail. Well, this used to be used or is used by Hasselblad for bubble levels and like sports viewfinders, things like that, but they're usually quite pricey. So basically, one of the people I've talked to a lot of times, Jim, I'm not going to mention his whole name, has made one version in 3D. So it has three different 3D versions, that's a mouthful, with a bubble level, so you can basically put it on your Hasselblad and keep your camera leveled. If you're like me and you like straight lines to stay straight and not start, doing converging lines, there's a must, and I've never had the Hasselblad one, so I probably will try to get my hands on one. But yeah, I left the link below. I think you can order it through his Etsy store, or you can also download and make it yourself. I'll leave the link, you can check it out. Then we've had some sort of weird, strange issues with Foma, the Czech Republic manufacturer of film and paper and chemicals. Basically, their website kind of like died from one day to the other, and then also their Instagram also disappeared out of nowhere. Their website now says that they had some problem with a supplier. I guess maybe their hosting company, they wasn't hosting properly or anything like that. And for that reason, they were having issues. They do seem to have a shop still open, and I've reached out to a few people to see if they can give me any news. I've also heard things like they got bought out by a different company and so on. No idea. I'll keep reporting as soon as possible, but so far it seems things are going okay in the factory part. And then we have Kosmo Foto with Agent Shadow, their 400 speed black and white film, in production. It's finally in the production line, so those backers that helped with this film come into the market will get their film soon. Plus, he's still doing pre-sales or pre-orders for those who want to buy at a discount. So yeah, that is the news for this week. As always, you can send an email to the email below. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next one.